Hey guys, this is a quick guide for the Raid Rift Plane Crawler project. As always, won't do much chit chat. I'll explain each stage of the Raid Rift when the stage starts, and I'll do a quick recap on the mechanic during the fight. This Raid Rift has pretty straightforward mechanics. The mechanics will keep on adding up after each phase, so you will mostly do the same mechanics all the time, just more and more of them. Stage 1. On this stage you need to kill 8 Technic Thralls and the Plane Crawler, which is the main boss in the middle. You can single pull most of the Thralls. If you get too close to the boss he will engage also, and he needs to be tanked. The most important thing on this stage is to interrupt the Thrall's cast called Restoration. This is a quite powerful heal that needs to be interrupted. You can see my target now casting Restoration, that is the heal you need to interrupt. These lightning balls that you see spawning now that are linked to the boss with some kind of beams, you can ignore those for the first stage of the Raid Rift. You will need those on later stages of the Raid Rift. They only deal a small amount of damage. Focus the 8 Thralls first. Once you kill them all, kill the boss to push the stage. So that was stage 1. Stage 2. On stage 2 you will need to kill a sub-builder Cal, and then you will need to kill the Plane Crawler again. In this stage you need to avoid Power Arc, that is a frontal cleave that the sub-builder is doing on the tank. You can see the telegraph on the floor. When you get hit by the beams you will get a buff called Ionized. This will make you immune to Energy Dispersal. Energy Dispersal is an AoE that the boss will do that will reduce damage and healing you do. So when you see him casting Energy Dispersal, you need to make sure that you have the buff Ionized from the beams. Kill the sub-builder first, of course. This is Power Arc, the frontal cleave that you need to avoid. You can now see the boss casting Energy Dispersal. You need to make sure that you have the Ionized debuff from the beams. You can also see that red effect on the floor that is going to the boss. You can ignore that altogether. This is just informing you that he is casting Energy Dispersal. On my buff bars you can see the Ionized buff. It's a purplish buff that has 5 seconds. This is basically the whole stage. Kill the sub-builder, avoid the cleave, get the buff for Energy Dispersal, and kill the boss. And that was stage 2. In stage 3 you will need to kill Arc Technique Logo first, and then you kill the Plane Crawler again. You will need to watch out for 4 mechanics in this one. The Arc Technique will cast the following abilities. Restoration, you need to interrupt that, that is a heal. He will attempt to cast flowing sands on the boss, you need to interrupt that. That will decreases the boss's cast speed. He will cast an ability called Strength of Stone that will buff the boss with increased damage done. You cannot interrupt that ability, however you can purge the buff that the boss is gonna get. And you will need to get the buff ionized again for the energy dispersal ability that the boss is gonna do. This is Strength of Stone, this is gonna buff the boss. Flowing Sand, interrupt that. And Restoration, interrupt that also. You can see the boss has 12 stacks of Strength of Stone now. You need to purge that. And that was stage 3. In stage 4 you will have to kill Builder V-God first and then kill the Plane Crawler again. You're gonna have to avoid Power Arc, that is the cleave ability again. The Builder is gonna put down a line of sight bubble. This doesn't do any damage, it just breaks the line of sight that you have to the boss or other party members, so just watch out for that. The Builder is also gonna do an ability called Placing Launcher. This is gonna place the red AoE on the ground with one outer circle and one inner circle. If you get too close to the inner circle, it's gonna pull you in and slow you, and the outer circle is gonna be the damage marker from the AoE, so just avoid that. And again, during the whole stage, the boss is gonna do energy dispersal again, so get ionized to avoid that. So let's get to the fight. You can see him casting energy dispersal again, get ionized for that. You can see him casting Placing Launchers, this is the red AoE on the right side now. The inner circle pulls you in, the outer circle marks the damage radius. The big bubble in the center is the line of sight one. You will need to stay on the same side to be in line of sight of players. And that's pretty much all there is to this phase. I'm gonna step in the launcher now. You can see once you enter the inner bubble, you get pulled, so just step out of that. And that was stage 4. In stage 5 you will need to kill 4 Technic Thralls again. Once you dealt with them, kill the Plane Crawler. You will have to interrupt Restoration again, casted by the Thralls. You will need to avoid Earthen Launchers again, those are the AoEs that pull you in. You will still need to get Ionized to avoid Energy Dispersal. And the boss will introduce a new mechanic. He is gonna cast Doom Cannon on a random party member. That is a one-shot ability that needs to be interrupted. He will cast it from 1 to 4 times in a row. You need to Sword Interrupters to deal with that. So as always, kill the Thralls first. Avoid the AoE. Interrupt the Restoration cast. And now you need to get Ionized for the Energy Dispersal. If you look at my focus target, you can see the boss casting Doom Cannon. That is a one-shot ability that you need to interrupt. He did it only twice this time, but as I said, he can do it up to 5 times in a row, so you need to Sword Interrupters for that. And that was stage 5. Stage 6 is the last stage of this raid rift. You will fight the Plane Crawler alone this time. In this stage you will have to avoid the Earthen Launchers again, you will have to Sword Interrupters for Doom Cannon again, up to 5 casts in a row, and you will still need to get Ionized. This phase also introduces a new mechanic. He will spawn unstable feathers around the place. Those are sparks radiating AoE. You have time to get out of that AoE until they are done casting. Once the cast is finished, they will explode and kill you. You can see the first unstable feather now spawning. Just get out of that before the cast is done. You can also see him casting Doom Cannon now. Make sure you don't miss any. And he's still doing the Earth Launchers that you can see on the left. Get out of that AoE. And here you have Energy Dispersal. That is the whole fight until you kill the boss and finish the raid rift. And this was the Raid Rift Plane Crawler project. Bear in mind that if this looks easy to you, we are in complete expert gear that you won't really have when you are doing those Raid Rifts. This Raid Rift is well tuned, but still fun in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed my quick guide for the Raid Rift. Please put a like on the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel for future videos and guides, and if you or any of your friends plan to start on playing Rift in the future, please use the link below in the description to link our accounts together. As always, thanks for watching guys.